Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and no, this is not a repeat video. This is another video on Bluetti's Apex 300 because they've released the pricing for this thing. The last two videos I've done on this, first introducing it, and then the last video was on how to integrate this into an Overland build using this instead of building out your own, house battery system. The pricing has come out on this, and I'm absolutely blown away by the price per watt hour of the Apex 300. So far, the power station with the best cost per watt hour has been the Bluetti AC180. That comes in at an incredible value of 56 cents per watt hour. Now, it's a small, I think, 1100 watt hour power station, so nothing at all to compare to this big behemoth 2764 watt hour power station. But the cost per watt hour of that is the least expensive power station per watt hour I've ever tested. Well, Bluetti has blown that price out of the water. Now, typically, I think, anything below 85 cents per watt hour, that's good. Some power stations get $1, even over $1 per watt hour. So anything under 85 cents is solid. The AC180 coming in at 56 cents per watt hour at the time of that video was insane. Now, this 2,764 watt hours on Bluetti's Indiegogo campaign, you can get this for $1,200, which makes it 43 cents per watt hour, which absolutely blows me away. That is bonkers cheap per watt hour. Even better, you can get this, because the great thing about the B300 is its expandability, because this is 2764 watt hours. You can connect multiple expansion batteries to this. I think you can connect up to 4 to this, making over, I don't even know, just a ridiculous amount of watt hours. And you can connect multiple Apex 300s together with expansion batteries. And I think it finally tops out at like 54,000 watt hours, 54 kilowatt hours, which is just absolutely insane. So the versatility of this is just wild. On the Indiegogo campaign, you can get the Apex 300 and the B300K expansion battery, which doubles the watt hour capacity to 5,528 watt hours. Well, with that, you can get for right at $2,000 for a ridiculous 36 cents per watt hour with that setup. So with that pricing being released and how versatile and expandable this thing is, I thought, you know what? Let's go see everything this thing can do. Everything this thing can possibly run in your home, in your RV, whatever. Let's go see. In here, we're powering the 55-inch TV along with Kara playing the Xbox. All the rest of our stuff is plugged in to the Apex 300 right now, and pulling 230 watts. So with this setup, we could play games for 10 hours or more. All right, in the kitchen, we've got the refrigerator plugged in, and ours is an older refrigerator, so not the most efficient. It is currently pulling 340 watts while the compressor is running. Now, obviously, the compressor cycles on and off, so this says at this rate, to run for 9 hours. I'm guessing we could probably get, a good 1 or 2 days out of that with the compressor cycling on and off. At the same time, we have the microwave plugged in. And so we can run key kitchen things if need be. Now, the microwave and the fridge together are pulling almost 1,800 watts, but that's limited to just when the microwave's on. So that could still last us quite a while in the event of a power outage. In the living room, I've got my whole computer set up, plugged into it, currently exporting a video to pull a decent amount of power. And look out, Goose. And currently pulling 108 watts while exporting the video. So I could run a computer for a very long time. I do use the Bluetti AC180P as my UPS hub to power all of my stuff. So that's really handy. But yeah, 108 watts. I could do this for a long time and get lots of work done. I got a new pellet smoker when we moved into this house, and thought it'd be interesting to see how much power this thing draws. So on startup, we are at 218 watts. Be 255 watts. Be curious to see what it settles down into after its initial startup mode. All right, it is up to temp at 250 degrees and settled in at, wow, 26 watts. I'm sure it goes up and down as it has to, oh, there it goes, 102. So depending on if it's actually actively, I don't know, maybe, I don't know why it's bouncing back and forth, but I could smoke a lot of meat if I needed to. I definitely want to know what this thing would do with a space heater. So we've got this right here, and on low, it pulls 720 watts. Isabella, back up. Pulls 720 watts on low. Currently have 86% battery left after a lot of this testing, and so that would run for 3 hours. Which, if you need to, heat up a room in the wintertime because the power's out, that could get it warm for a while. Now, on high, you're looking at, we'll say 1350 to 1400 watts, 1320, 1330. So on a full charge, you'll get about 2 hours on high, which I don't necessarily recommend because that heat just pulls a lot of power when you're using electricity to generate it. But it would definitely get you by in a pinch. Izzy likes it. All right, let's see what this thing will do with some power tools. We have a heat gun here. Let's turn this on high. 1220 watts. If you need to run a heat gun and you don't have power, there you go. No problem. And if it'll run a heat gun, it'll run a hair dryer for, if anyone needs to dry their hair. Because why not? Let's see. A grinder. I'm sure this probably isn't very safe. So under load, about 800 watts. No problem. All right, let's try it with a miter saw here, and I've got a steel cutting blade on it, so I'm gonna try this piece of aluminum. Dang! That went up to 3,500 watts. That's insane. So, yeah, no problem. What about a shop vac to clean up the mess I just made? Wow, that pulls a lot more power than I thought it would. About 1,100 watts at max. So, something is flooded and you are without power, yeah, you can clean up the area with a shop vac. So the bottom line is, if it can power all of that, it will literally power anything you're going to throw at it. I can't think of anything in my house except for maybe my dryer, which I don't have an adapter plug to plug into this. I can't think of anything that this thing can't power, because this does have 240 volt. So it can run a dryer. I can't think of anything this can't do. So if you need to wire this into your home for like an ultimate disaster recovery home backup kind of situation, you can do that. They've got the accessories for this. They've got expandability for this to power your home for days while you're waiting for the power to come back on. If you're selective in what you're doing, you could run it for weeks. And then with the solar charging built into this, 2,800 watts of solar, just this right here, 2,800 watts. You can expand that up to 30,000 watts of solar, which is absolutely insane. So for disaster recovery, off-grid type of power setup, this can do it. For your RV, van, overland rig needs, pair this with the Hub D1, you're gonna be able to power anything in your RV or van or overland rig. With the 50 amp Anderson port here, this has the best of both worlds. It's all in one, so super easy to set up, super easy to install, no fancy wiring or anything like that. But it's also expandable because you've got the 50 amp Anderson plug here. So you can then go out and wire USB ports all over the place, 12 volt sockets all over the place. In case you haven't picked up on it, this thing is incredibly powerful and incredibly versatile, whether it's for whatever your need is. Home backup, overlanding, RV, van life, whatever. Comparable, most RVs and vans, overland rigs, that sort of thing. This is typically power stations are done in watt hours. Those types of batteries are done in amp hours. Well, this is the equivalent of 215 amp hours. I did compare the last video. I showed the idea of installing this instead of the 200 amp hours worth of batteries and red arc chargers and monitors and all that sort of stuff. I showed this as an alternative to that because size-wise, this is about the same size as two big 200 amp hour batteries, and it's more. The cost for this is 43 cents per watt hour. I did the math real quick before shooting this video. My wife's setup with the 200 amp hours of batteries, red arc charger, red arc management system, inverter, basically all the same things that this has, but less, is over $1 a watt hour. I mean, it's crazy. It's a no-brainer what this thing can do. So right now, Bluetti still got this as an Indiegogo campaign. Ridiculous pricing. Go there. Link and all that good stuff is in the description. I continue to be blown away by the Apex 300. And so hope this video was helpful, giving you some ideas. If you are, looking at home backup and solutions for that, give this a serious look. If you are needing more power in your RV or van or building out an overland rig, give this a serious look for that option. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you would, like, subscribe, give us that YouTube love. Check out the Patreon link. It's in the description. It's also right here on the QR code. If you're watching this on a TV, look at that. You can get access to special events, special content, all of our GPS data, and for all of our merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.